All right, ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Benoit Jericho here, and this is our random live streaming podcast show, Cup of Coffee with SBJ. As you can see right there, drink it. It's the good stuff, the Black Rifle Coffee from Black Rifle Coffee Company. Not an official sponsor, but you should give me a call. So today, as you can see, backed by popular demand, our guest, the Scottish Warrior Ian, has a few things to talk about, including something very important that he has to say. But before we get to that most important, let's start with what's going on with you, Ian, in both Outlaw Elite Wrestling and Worldwide Wrestling, and we may even touch on XCW. So let's start with 3-Dub first, Ian. How you doing?
I'm doing somewhat okay. I have a hit list that's going on at the moment for certain individuals who will be dealt with in a swift manner. And I got a message earlier the day from the president telling me to not turn up to New Year's Bash, but let me tell you something. The whole 3-Dub roster is going to be put on high alert because, let me tell you, I'm going to be at New Year's Bash and I have a plan that will be executed at that show. So you will see me involved in some capacity.
All right, Ian, so let's back up just a little fraction. So you mentioned you have this list. So that this sort of hit list,
Yep.
correct? So how did this hit list come about? Is it just like a random gimmick that like Chris Jericho had? How did you form this hit list? And can you mention any of the names that are on this hit list?
The names of those who are on the list will not be mentioned. This has been a culmination of my entire time here in 3-Dub. There has been a select few who have wronged me, a select few people who I personally feel need to get their ass whipped, that quite frankly think it's okay just to sit in the back and take a paycheck, essentially. And I'm going to take each and every one of them out. My original plan was I was going to take out John Awesome. He was first in my plan. But unfortunately for me, John Awesome decides to go and fight a man who beat me at the last pay-per-view. But he's not off the hook. I will get my hands on John Awesome one way or the other.
All right, I did see that, how you challenged for that international title and basically got no play from Johnny Awesome.
Can you blame me? He near enough broke my arm on media duties.
I saw that as well. Saw you all bandaged up there. As you notice, I'm just been starting to be more active back here in Worldwide Wrestling. Hopefully that can continue. More and more superstars showing up both on Cup of Coffee and possibly the Origin show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we a little bit of what's going on there. It's hard to get too much into Worldwide Wrestling right now because Season 7 is about to kick off. I know El Presidente, Drew Gessner, and his team are basically the bottom of the coffee cup deep in getting things ready to fire off the show. So let's take a little journey over to a different style show where I've been watching a little bit, and you've been starting to come into your own over there as well. So let's journey into the Outlaw Elite Wrestling.
OEW, okay.
OEW. So what's going on with the Scottish Warrior over in the promo battle sort of thing?
I feel that over there it's a whole different ball game to what you would think of the standards of like a free dub or an HWA would be in terms of promos. Like, you have to put everything together that you have learned if you're in a comp match of like wordplay, presentation, the whole 9 yard. You got to put it all together to create this narrative. And as of late, I've not been at the best that I know I can be. But there is a match coming up very, very soon that I'm especially intrigued with, that I've been trying to get for months, and I now have it, which is going to be in February. So
you've probably been studying up and doing your homework on your opponent and possibly watching some of your older stuff to, see where mistakes may have been made.
I know my opponent very well, and he is the longest OEW amateur champion in history.
Can you name drop?
That being the very friend that I got into this business with in the first place.
Jackie Harvey.
Me and Jack are going to dance in OEW, and it's going to be a match that you're not going to want to miss. And me and Jack have spoke behind the scenes, and we have both said the outcome of this match doesn't matter, because we're not going to brag over the other, being like, oh, look at me, I won. No. There's a code of honor between Jack and I. And we're just looking to steal the show. And that's what
I know you guys go back a long way. We've talked about that previously, so I don't need to dig more into that on other podcasts. We've dug real deep on the relationship between you and Jack Harvey. So, very interesting stuff there. So hopefully everyone watching stays tuned for February to watch the Scottish Warrior and Jack Harvey, bring out all the stops there on OEW. So what else is going on with the Scottish Warrior these days?
These days, the last I think I know what you're referring to. The last few months, I've had this moment, and you all have that moment when you look in the mirror, and you just have that feeling, if you will, that you're near your end. And I know that that's near for me. And I thought, well, I'm basically going, I feel like it's my time to go, hang up the boots, and go out and watch from the sidelines. I feel like very, very soon it's going to be my time to close my career.
So do you have sort of a time frame? Is there a goal date, perhaps? Are you going to be finished with one style of show before the other? Are there plans for after? You maybe following in old SBJ's footsteps and entering a booth somewhere, perhaps?
I don't think I'll be entering a booth all too often. I'm going to be going in an entirely different direction. I'm going to be following a different passion of mine, which I'm feeling the fire for, and that's gaming. I feel that I've had a tremendous 9 to near enough 10-year career being in this game, doing what I do best. And I've loved every minute of it, even the highs and even the almighty lows that I have had within it. And I have planned out who will be my finales to a certain extent. And each and every person who I want involved has gotten back to me and said, I'm in. I accept. I can give you who will be my finales.
Now, is this from show to show, like EFED to EFED? Are there specific, are there only a couple that you want to face? Maybe there's a couple per show, or are you going to jump XCW, OEW, hybrid perhaps, other
See,
places, or is it
it's
overall
one.
period certain wrestlers?
It's. I'm open to HWA being involved. I am open to that suggestion, but there's only one individual I can see being the right opponent for me, and each and every person I've picked to be a part of it has got a reason, a story behind it. But I'll tell you who I've got planned for my finales. Over in OEW, I'm going with the innovator of excellence, DJB.
Okay.
I've
So you
seen
mentioned
him.
DJB before we dive in too much. So behind the scenes, I'm only saying it on here and not on the group page yet, but DJB is in talks about signing a contract here in HWA. It's just recently come about. I'm only going to say it here. So for those that happen to watch this podcast, you guys so far are the only ones that know where you mentioned DJB. So just throwing it out there. So DJB's on your list in OEW. Where
Yep.
else are we heading to end this illustrious career of the Scottish Warrior Ian?
I'm heading like I'm having a match in Freed Up. Can you invite Sander, SBJ? He wants him. And speaking of Sander, he is involved in my retirement as well.
Let me do the invite real quick because going a live show and invite into the chat, the screen's probably going to go blank and it
I'll
might
get
do
him.
some
I'll
screwy stuff.
get
So,
him.
all
I
right,
got him.
perfect.
But for me, there we go. My PS4 is just messing up there. Don't tell me I'm having mic issues.
I still
Wait,
hear
okay.
you loud and
Okay,
clear. I'm not
okay,
sure as far as the YouTube. I don't have my device, so I'm not watching it by chance. But we just had Sander Cool join us, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you just turned on, the Scottish Warrior Ian has been going down his end of his career sort of feature matches that he wants to have happen before he hangs up his boots. So he's mentioned so far in Outlaw Elite Wrestling DJB as being the one that he wants
He's
to
the one.
end his career there. So let's continue on that. You are heading over to Worldwide Wrestling, a.k.a. 3Dub, right now. Let's head back there, Ian.
Yep. Let me tell you why I'm going to choose DJB, and then I'll move into Freed Up. If that's,
Sure, of course.
Because that's easier for me. A couple of years ago, I was in NEW, and I was scheduled to face DJB at the biggest show of NEW's year, Kingdom of Immortality. And I ended up backing out of that match. Things were going wrong for me, which was my own immaturity, and I disrespected NEW, and I've always felt that I've owed DJB a match. And I can't think of a better place to make it up to him, but most importantly, go out the right way by facing the absolute best in the comp scene in OEW today, that being DJB in my eyes.
Now, that's a very noble and mature outlook to have now, admitting those things that you did wrong and trying to make them right. So I definitely appreciate that, Ian, especially saying something like that on a live stream where, anywhere from 5 to 5,000 people may watch this video over the years, and once it goes on the internet, it's never going to go away. There will always be a way to find it, so definitely respect that, Ian. So DJB, number one, and Outlaw Elite. So let's take a trip over to Drew Gessner's Worldwide Wrestling, a.k.a. 3Dub. Those of you watching, if you haven't seen it yet, it's one of the top produced shows out there on the YouTube scene right now, hoping to grow the numbers of views. So let's go over to 3W and who you got over there to end things with the 3Dub scene.
The freed up scene, I have chosen someone that I started off in 8 years ago as a part of his faction, being in the Disciples of Darkness. I am choosing the former World Heavyweight Champion himself, Remy Reznor.
I didn't realize you were in the Disciples of Darkness. That was Remy and Vlad and
I
others,
was
correct?
there. I was
Okay.
there.
It was probably before my 3-dub time.
Yep.
I did. Hold on. Sorry. Hi, Ian.
Hello, Sander.
Good to also hear you. SBJ, it's also good to see you. Always glad to be here.
Appreciate it, Sander.
Well, Ian. I think Remy was. I think you came after. Like, SBJ, I think you were after Ian and Remy were separating their ways. I
Indeed,
think
it
you came.
was. I don't even remember the season. Maybe it was season 4 when I first
Yeah, season 4.
started
Season 4.
watching 3-dub,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Season 4, season 5.
And for me, with Remy, it's a full circle affair. I started with him. It's only fair and fitting in my eyes that I end it with him. And I just want to put this out there for the record. Freedom have been nothing but absolutely brilliant with me. They've let me run a few matches that I didn't think I would get, like James Black, for example. I'll come on to him. They've they've treated me absolutely right, and I've got nothing but good things to say about how Drew runs Freedom, and I dare say they're the best 2K league up there in the world today, by far.
That's why I've never shied away from HWA's affiliation with them, no matter how unpopular it is with some other smaller shows. Um, never backed down, never denied HWA's affiliation with Worldwide Wrestling and Drew Gessner behind the scenes. Great people over there running things, so it's not hard for me to believe and confirm the words that you just said. Definitely, and I've watched your career over there as well, Ian. First saw you over in XCW, of course, and then once I got the invite, you guys were, a big part in getting me to be interested in worldwide wrestling. So I definitely appreciate that. So you mentioned Remy.
Yep.
Remy is also, as of the last season, maybe 2 seasons that I've been watching, he's become one of my favorites. Never really knew who he was. I knew the character, but Vlad Michaels was, as far as I knew from that faction, the guy that I really watched. Very interesting character, and unfortunately, haven't seen him anymore. I think he may have hung up his boots. But since then, Remy has really come into his own and shown the EFED world as of last season just who he is, and it's been great watching. So
Remy's killing it. He's
everywhere
shown that you can make it as a main eventer if you put the work in. Remy is a workhorse. There's no question about it. That if you want to pattern yourself over anyone in this game, there's 3 names. The Chaos-born Iron Storm, Lee, the Iron Bison, Remy, and Jack Harvey. Those are the 3 people you look to, in my eyes.
Is it okay if I take the girls to the Park Hill?
I mean, Ian, sorry to interrupt. You named Remy
Yep.
as one of the people you look to.
Mm-hmm.
I have fought with Remy, and I do agree. Remy is a very strong guy. I mean, no disrespect. Remy is definitely the future. He definitely
Remy
is.
is the present.
Sander, he's
Remy
not just
is
the future,
now. He's
the
not the
present.
future. He is now. Remy is now. So, and that's anywhere he goes. Anywhere Remy goes,
Exactly.
once he gets on screen, once he gets in that ring, there's no
He's a killer.
denying he is now. The main event bully is now.
Absolutely. And I'd be honored to share the ring with him and Freed Up one more time.
I can't wait to see that. Hopefully, it takes a while before we get there. I want to see quite a bit more from the Scottish Warrior before you hang him up. But now, how
Oh,
far away?
Oh, come
Jack
on.
Harvey joining
No.
us, folks.
No! No! God,
You see the name Jack Harvey pop up on your screen. You can't help but be interrupted and trip over your tongue a little bit there. Welcome, Jack. We got Jack Harvey, the Scottish Warrior, Ian, and Sander Cool here having a cup of coffee. Or, folks, I hope you're not offended by this, but SBJ doesn't only drink coffee. Every once in a while, you've got to have yourself a cold adult beverage. And on this snowy day here in New Hampshire, I'm stuck in my office, having a little cold one while I chat with you folks.
SBJ, please tell me you don't have the cookies. Please tell me you don't have them.
No cookies today.
no, not the. Good.
Shout out to Will King of Heel Money. Haven't seen Big Willie in a while. A little bit of a falling out over in HWA, and haven't quite mended all the fences and gotten back quite the relationship that we had. Hopefully one day, Will King, that was a longtime friend of mine, still is. We just haven't sort of, repaired all the fences there and gotten back to things. But that's a whole other story. Let's continue back where we left off. The Scottish Warrior saw the name Jack Harvey pop up there, throws the whole world in disarray, causing madness wherever he goes. So let's get back on there. We were finishing up the topic of Remy. So, Scottish Warrior, you want to end your 3-dub career by going one-on-one with the main event bully, Remy.
Yep. He's the one I've got my eye on.
I can be the second last match,
That's a given. That's a given. That's going to happen.
You
and Remy are my final 2 matches, bro.
So let's pause here real quick. So Jack Harvey just volunteered to be your second to last match.
Well, yeah,
over in Worldwide Wrestling. So would it be Jack Harvey versus Ian the Scottish Warrior, mano a mano, friend versus friend, or do we think a certain dark entity may come out for that one?
Personally, since I'd be in the match, it doesn't matter to me if it's Jack himself or if he brings out his demon, because at the end of the day, it will be a match to remember for me.
Now, Jack,
and it's always
I can see Jack on his screen looking at us kind of funny. So I don't exactly know if Jack knows what we're talking about a demon, but
yeah. But for me though, SBJ, it's an honor either way. If it's madness, it's madness. If it's Jack, it's Jack. Either way, it's going to be an honor to face him in my second to last match.
All right,
madness hasn't been around in so long, so I don't know what you're talking about.
That guy's tucked away somewhere deep down in a hole somewhere, hopefully.
What are you talking about?
It's a guy. Maybe you haven't met him, Jack. So we'll get away from there. Maybe Jack hasn't met the madness. It's a good thing you don't want to meet him anyways. I don't want to ever see him again.
Yeah,
hey,
Jack, you know who's
if you want, if you want to know what madness is like, just ask Sander. There you go.
Oh, please.
All I need to do is look in the mirror and then I'll see him.
Yeah, I hope you two have a very good conversation, right?
We do. We have great conversations.
So I heard a rumor that a certain Leatherneck, a certain Marine, has signed some sort of contract. I don't know. There's speculation that possibly a general manager role over in 3-Dub, or maybe even talent. So there's some unfinished business that I would like to see happen if he has chosen to be talent instead of a management role. That's still to be seen. But it'd be interesting to finally see Devil Dog versus Jack Harvey.
Yeah, but every time we try to finish that, he runs away.
He does. He's not been himself basically since James Black got his hands, and he basically has become known as the man that survived James Black, which isn't a good label that you really want to have. So, maybe one day that'll finally happen, where he'll be.
All I'm going to say is this: if Devil Dog gets in my way, I will put him down once and for all.
He runs away from me too.
He's kind of not so sure, maybe a little timid when it comes to his old friends from the XCW days. Maybe he doesn't want to. Maybe he doesn't want to hurt you two and end your careers prematurely. Possibly.
It would be more one of us ending him.
I mean, I'm going for a pick here, and I'm going against one of you two because, like always, I'm going to guess that maybe Matt H-Star might return. Dreadup is his old home, and Matt wouldn't forsake his old home.
As you've been watching in HWA, you lost the title to him, did you not, Sander? So maybe he's coming back to 3-Dub with his wrestling gear on, and he's in HWA preparing for that.
Tired. He won't come back to the ring.
Well, I mean, Matt?
He'll keep his word. I know Matt. He'll keep his word.
I mean, yeah, that's true. And I mean, he did come back to, take my title, but Matt, I mean, what Mason did to Matt, I mean, I don't know how Matt could come back from something like that,
Especially since Mason's back again, I don't think he'll want to.
Well, unless Matt wants to take revenge. I mean, Jack, you know how revenge can be when it comes to that.
But you do realize, you do realize, hypothetically, if Matt was to do that, he wouldn't just be up against just Mason himself, right? He would have James Black to contend with, he would have Hollywood Watkins to contend with, but not only that, he would have Dylan Mason's little girl toy over there, Sandy Stars, as well.
Yeah, but let's hold on. Remember,
And there's a mystery member that James Black has been referring to, correct?
Exactly.
And Devil Dog sort of teasing you, saying that the mystery member is going to be Sander Cool. Sander, I'm going to ask you straight out, are you Sander Cool, the next megastar that's going to be revealed?
That fact
I'm not.
dead.
But I can say I'm not. I mean, I haven't heard anything, so...
Okay,
yeah, I'm
you
not,
think
so...
that the newest member may not even know he's got an invite yet? Maybe the newest member is the megastars are going to let the Scottish Warrior ride out his career as a megastar, perhaps.
I mean, you'd think that they would want the World Heavyweight Champion in their group, right?
Jack?
I think what they want is, I think each of them want to have your title. So I think they're probably gunning for you, Jack.
They would
Their
earlier...
best thing to do was to have me in their group so they can get one step closer, but they won't take it from me. They can just get close to it. You know what I'm saying?
So say whatever you want about the character of each member, but there's no doubt that none of them back down from a fight. They are all very talented. So
neither do I.
I know that they would probably want to fight you for that title and take it, and then maybe invite you.
I'll take all of them on one by one.
I'm almost going to guarantee that something like that is probably going to happen over this year in Worldwide Wrestling.
No championship, I'll take them all. I'll beat them.
But to make a guess for the newest member, I'm going to say Rob Roman.
Rob Roman, the anarchist.
No, that's funny.
Why is that funny, Ian? Why is that funny?
That's funny that you mention his name.
What about the Iron Bison, Lee Jones? Is there anyone that's more of a megastar? And we've seen him interact in that thread as well on the Worldwide Wrestling page.
Can you really see him wearing a suit?
I've seen him wear a suit several times. When he's in a manager role, over when he was part of the Forged in Pain, coming out in his suit, when he was he owned HWA at one time and always wore a suit. So absolutely.
But
he looks pretty good in his suit, actually.
But if I can track back a little bit, to when Sander mentioned Rob Roman. He is one of them.
I know what you mean.
Rob
no
Roman,
history with
he's
this,
got to be part of it. So
He
I
is.
don't know if they're gonna keep those numbers growing.
No.
But there's
SBJ,
absolutely no way that Rob Roman is not
SBJ,
the
SBJ, you don't
megastar.
understand.
He's got history, sure, it doesn't mean
Exactly.
that-
He has
What-
history with Hollywood walk-ins.
True, but that's not what I'm referring to.
You're referring to your retirement, aren't you?
Yep. Rob
See-
Roman is one of them that I want to get in the ring with.
I don't
Roman
want to
and
get anywhere near the ring with Rob. I don't want to get around
I
Rob
faced
Roman
him.
unless we're on the phone, to
I
be
beat
honest.
him in a steel cage.
I've seen Rob Roman
Go.
torturing a man over in OEW.
Mm.
That was hideous.
That he is very sadistic, and I'm kind of
Although
I don't
kinda
want to
like it.
talk about Rob Roman, the Anarchist, to be honest.
I kind of like it.
Yeah,
Well, you,
it
Jack
doesn't
Harvey,
surprise
are
me
a
that you
sick,
like
sick
him.
man. What's
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
The
Harvey,
Jack Harvey's
Harvey.
theme song? Sing it for us, Jack.
Oh, please
Jack
don't.
freaking Harvey.
Yeah, let's hear it. That's a
Jack.
sick, sadistic song. Sing it.
Freaking Harvey. It's so good.
I believe that I just saw at least 10 females in the audience here.
Screaming their heads off. I know I'm
Sort
I'm
of
the Elvis
drop
Presley.
down in lust and pleasure over Jack Harvey's singing there.
Just
Good
too
stuff,
good.
Jackie.
I'm Elvis. I'm just like Elvis.
And yet my theme song still beats yours in like fan reaction. Just saying.
I think that the next time the megastars do a concert, you need to be invited and sing a cappella with Dylan Mason
Oh yeah.
and James Black.
Let's have a karaoke off.
Killing karaoke there or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
All right, let's this. So the Scottish Warrior is supposed to be our featured guest here. So let's get back to the countdown of the end of days, at least in ring for the Scottish Warrior. We got DJB over in Outlaw Elite Wrestling. We've got Outcast. I keep saying Outlaw Elite. I've been talking to Jason Michaels, the American Outlaw, quite a bit lately. So I've got Outlaw Elite on my mind. I apologize. I keep saying that, but all right. So we've got DJB over in Outcast Elite Wrestling.
Yep.
Sorry, Lee. And then we've got Remy, the main event bully in Worldwide Wrestling. Now, there's got to be a big match in XCW. That's where you really made a name for yourself. At least it kicked off most of it. So who's over there? Are you going to jump right in the ring with and pull the old man out one-on-one who gave you the shot?
Nope.
Where
XCW is not in my tour.
Really?
XCW is not in my tour.
Okay, now that surprises me. Is there reasons for that we can say on here, or is it just nobody over there that you feature?
I can say, and the reason I'm not using XCW is because Aaron would be the only credible person there that I could face, but I faced him so many times. It's like there's the sentiment is there, but for me, no. This tour is about people that really have cemented something in my career.
So you've already done everything that you can do, you want to do.
That's it.
That there is
that's
for
exactly
you
it.
to do in XCW. I understand that.
And that's
Understand that.
not that I'm not saying that in a bad way toward Michael O'Connor who runs it. I've just done everything I need to do there. I'm just keeping it really, what's the word? Tight-knit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exclusive. There's only a few exclusive people that you maybe some unfinished business, maybe that you haven't gotten that chance to face, or full circle, like you say, when it comes to Remy. Okay, so I don't have a guess. Where else are we going on this Scottish Warrior World Tour?
I want to go to NEW.
Oh yeah, NEW.
I want to go there because there's 2 people in that roster I want to
Did
face.
NEW open again?
Not
Yeah, they're
yet.
coming back.
Not
in,
yet.
They're coming back. They're coming back.
Okay.
CK23.
Big news. So are
I'd
all
be
the boys are Chaos and the whole crew coming back? Is it Rob Roman running it himself, or what's going on over there?
I think Rob's running it again. I'll be back in there for sure.
Same here. Same here.
Good stuff.
I'll say this much, yeah. I'd be open to a 2-match deal with NEW because there's 2 people there I want to face on my tour.
Here's the second one. I know the first one.
I
Roman's one
want
of
to
them.
know both of them. Yeah, we talked about Rob Roman. Okay.
He's there because I've never faced him and I want to dance with him. Why not do it in NEW?
Are we
But the
talking
other
like
one-
the Ramba or like salsa, or what
No.
kind of dancing are we?
In the ring,
The, dan- the dance
Fighting,
of
yeah.
fisticuffs.
The
SBJ.
man dance. You want a one-on-one man dance.
One-on-one, me and Rob in NEW to cement my career.
Here's the second person then.
The second person's in this party right now, Sander.
Hi. That
Oh,
one
yeah,
is.
that's right.
So Blaze just checked in, and for some reason, Blaze says he can't hear me.
I was
So
about to tell you that, but you.
this is probably going to be a Sander Cool, Jack Harvey, and Scottish Warrior run show. Hopefully they can at least hear you guys, because that's the talking that matters.
I was listening in. I couldn't hear it.
I'm
I can
just
hear it
sitting here. As long as you guys can hear me, I might as well just shut this camera off and you guys take over the show. So from there, salute, and I'll just be in the background, just helping to guide you guys if you want. So you talk ahead because they can't hear old SBJ anyways. Go for it.
It's almost they can't hear because I was listening in earlier.
No audio whatsoever. So we're
audio.
just having a discussion here, and it doesn't matter.
You can say absolute fuck all. They won't hear us.
Yeah, who fucking cares? You can say whatever we want.
The other, and like Sander, the reason I want to face you in NEW, there's a specific reason.
Here's the last match.
No, you and I danced in a steel cage.
I remember.
That's what I said.
NEW.
It was your last match last time you were in NEW.
Yeah.
And I want to run it back one more time, and new me and you.
You know, and this is where I'm gonna make a call, not to Rob Roman, the anarchist, but to Rob Roman, the owner. Rob, I know how you feel about Ian, I know how you feel about the past, but this match is special. This match, I mean, the first time we did this, it was to prove that I belonged in NEW.
And it wasn't just that, it's that I believed in Sander, and I went about it the wrong fucking way. I pushed to get you in the match, which was wrong. I should have listened to Rob and went with the guideline that he was giving me in terms of who I was facing. That was unprofessional on my part on both a personal level and a personal and professional level. That was just wrong of me, and
Exactly.
I can safely say, yeah, I fucked up on that.
I seriously hope people hear this.
Same here.
But if I never made those mistakes, I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be as professional as I am today, because learning a valuable lesson like that comes from making those mistakes.
Exactly. Mistakes makes us who we are.
Yeah, no one's perfect, and if I personally would be grateful if Rob did sign those matches. Me and him, and me and you in NEW. By far.
I think the steel cage match is definitely going to be me trying to prove your trust, trying to prove that you were right about me in NEW. Just for the right reasons this time. Just for one last time.
But that's in Rob's hands.
Exactly.
If Rob turns around and says, you know what? I'm not. We don't want to run the match here. That's absolutely fine. We can work a way to get you on the tour some way, somehow.
Exactly.
Not a problem.
There's freedom as well, you know.
There is freedom.
Exactly. If the
But-
protector has to step up, then he will do so.
Yeah. As a
Hey
side
guys, I
note,
just tried to save this
oh,
to see if they at least my screen recorded the audio at this point.
yeah.
So if it did, I'll just like shoot that video up as a live stream. Hopefully it recorded all this crap.
Alright,
But
cool.
But
yeah, nobody can hear us.
Yeah,
Alright,
I
rip.
was gonna tell you that we were too busy talking.
I don't know what the fuck
Um,
happened, but
And as a side note, and this is directly for Lee,
Mm.
I think you
He-
hear it.
if he hears it. He's been instrumental in showing me like how I can improve. He's not only coached me, he's coached Jack. We're all three of us here are in the Iron Elite, learning from him. And I don't want to feel like me retiring is going to hurt what he's got going on. I'm gonna. The only place you'll see me is in the Iron Elite sparring with people that are
Okay.
the future of this game.